Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, folks, and happy Mother's Day. Today is Sunday, May 8th, 2022. We are your hosts, Samantha
and Chris,
back with another episode of MMTV. We hope you had a good week, and we are ready for this week's edition. First up, we have another original song and video put together by Chris. Then we have Julia with some more cool recipes. Following, then we have Marissa with another weekly question.
My favorite part of the day is lunch.
Hey! My favorite part of the school day is lunch.
My favorite part of the day is probably lunch because that means there's no classes and I don't really have to do anything, so.
My favorite part of the day is when there's a lot of momentum in my class and students are just engaged and thoughtful and there's a lot of smart stuff going on.
My favorite part of the day is spending periods 1, 3, and 4 with my favorite teacher, Brian Leslie.
My favorite part of the school day is probably lunch because you don't have to do anything except eat.
Okay, so I think the favorite part of my day, I certainly enjoy all the classes I teach, hello Peony, but I think my favorite part of any school day is anytime I get an opportunity to go outside and do something with students, whatever class that might be.
I'd say my favorite part of the day is probably study hall because I get to spend time with my friends and also get all my work done that I have to.
Due to this past week's inclement weather, the annual Special Olympics has been postponed until this Wednesday. We wish everyone who's participating good luck and to have fun. Now over to Rosie with another student profile. Then we hop on over to Conrad's segment, You Ask, We Answer. This week, Conrad has found someone who will teach us about laying tile.
This is Abigail Aguiman. Abby is a sophomore here at Monument. Her favorite class to take here is chemistry. Abby's favorite thing about Monument is all of her friends on the softball team. When she's not in school, Abby loves to watch Fast and Furious, play softball, draw, and listen to music. Some fun facts about Abby are that her favorite color is royal blue and her favorite car is a Skyline. After high school, Abby hopes to become a nurse or go into the medical field. That was this week's student profile. Join us next week for more.
How do they lay tiles?
All right, I'm here with Mr. Hartcorn.
Good morning.
And my name is Conrad, and we're talking about tiles today. So what are the basic principles of tiling? Like what do you do to, I don't know, lay tiles in like a bathroom? You have a clean floor, concrete, you got some tiles, you got some grout maybe?
Okay.
What do you do?
First thing is you got to plan. You got to draw the whole thing out so you know exactly what you're going to do before you start putting any grout down and mastic, which is adhesive. Mm-hmm. So you have to plan everything out. So you're going to lay out all your tiles. Before you even get to that point, you have to make sure that the floor is level.
Okay.
And if it's not level, you have to level it, and you also have to have, if it needs to drain, you have to plan for that too.
Okay. With different like types of design tiles, is it like a different process? Like if you have a mosaic tile, is it different than laying down like a regular like blank tile, except like on the floor?
It is different in that when you buy those little tiny like squares or diamonds or that kind of thing,
yeah,
that's usually laid up on a sheet.
Oh.
So it's a flexible sheet that you can sort of put into place and cut it as you need to have it, rather than going in there and trying to place every single one, which would drive you insane.
Okay, so it's not like ancient Roman times where you got to place every single tile. I didn't actually know if it was
Well,
still
back then you had a lot of free labor, right?
Yeah.
A lot of free labor.
Was the process different like a long time ago? Like what would they use instead of grout? Was it like mud? Or?
Yeah, probably, but it's all just the thing to just fill in the space. That's
Okay.
the whole idea. Whether it's grout, they have all kinds of new products.
I asked this in a lot of them when we're like involving like a trade or something like that. But how can you like get started with tiling? Like how can you find an apprenticeship or something like that?
There's lots of guys out there that just do it. So you're just gonna go to a company that lays tile. Maybe the tile stores could tell you who their customers are, and you could just go work for them. They'd be happy to have you, I'll tell you. So there's plenty of room out there for carpenters if you want to be a carpenter. You can go out there and if you work hard, you'll make, $25-30 an hour within a year.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot, and I might go into a trade now. Thank you so much.
Don't forget, this Wednesday, in addition to the Special Olympics, will be a well-deserved half-day due to teacher in service. We will be running the morning schedule with periods 1 through 4. Make sure you take time to head outside and enjoy some vitamin D. Now, we head on over to the game room where Sam will share another cool video game. Then, after, we have Nick following with another music review. Take it away, guys.
Over the past 35 years, Atlus has released a variety of games under the Megami Tensei umbrella, from the original digital Devil Story games to Shin Megami Tensei, to the variety of spin-offs. This week I'll be taking a look at one of those spin-offs. This is Devil Summoner. Devil Summoner was released on December 25th, 1995 for the Sega Saturn in Japan, and on the topic of release, I'd like to clarify the availability of this game. Devil Summoner has not been localized or even fully translated. This means that for the most part, the game is inaccessible for non-Japanese speakers. However, there is a translated English script online for the main story and some of the side content. This is how I played the game, but it isn't a way I'd recommend someone to play it. With that all out of the way, let's get into why Devil Summoner is one of my favorite Megami Tensei games. Starting off with the story, the premise of Devil Summoner is that your character, who you can name, is caught in the middle of a fight between two devil summoners. One of them is a man named Kyoji Kuzunoha. After escaping, you go to a bar where you hear on the news that Kyoji has been killed, and before long you too are killed at the hands of a devil summoner. However, you are given an option, since you weren't supposed to die there. You can either remain dead or be revived. When you choose to be revived, you wake up in the body of Kyoji Kuzunoha. This opening is absolutely perfect. It familiarizes you with the more ordinary world before quickly flipping everything you knew on its head, letting you know that this game is going to throw a lot at you, and lets you know that you are going to be invested into the side characters in this game are fantastic. Kyoji's partner, Rei Reiho, is one of my favorites, and I love the scenes between her and the main character throughout the game. Even the characters that don't have much screen time or aren't key parts of the story are all filled with personality and are a key part of why this game creates the perfect atmosphere. Next, the gameplay. It's pretty straightforward. If you remember my review of Soul Hackers, the gameplay is basically the same since Soul Hackers is a sequel to Devil Summoner. You have the row system where you, of course, have your two human main characters, with the rest occupied by recruitable demons. The magnetite system is also found here, with each step draining your magnetite count, depending on how many demons you have active in your party, of course. For me, the best part of Devil Summoner's gameplay is the dungeons. I think the way Devil Summoner handles its dungeons is perfect. A lot of games like to have a small number of dungeons, but to make up for the small number, they have them be very long and sometimes drawn out. Devil Summoner, however, has quite a lot of dungeons, but they're all for the most part pretty short. This is perfect for the game because it's always throwing new ideas at you with its gameplay. Nothing ever feels drawn out. Also, it makes the places you explore seem more realistic in its scale. For example, when you explore an abandoned museum, the design of the dungeon matches the scale of what you'd expect it to be. Also, this allows the pacing to be much more smooth, with the player starting off in smaller dungeons, slowly building up to larger, more difficult dungeons seen at the end of the game. Lastly, the music. And like everything, it's fantastic. The soundtrack has a mysterious flair to it which fits perfectly for the game. It somewhat mimics a Saturday morning cartoon vibe. Also, I love the battle tracks of how loud and fast-paced they are, contrasting with the quiet and careful feeling of the dungeon tracks. For the games released in the West by Atlus, it's such a shame that this isn't one of them. It also confuses me since Devil Summoner was given quite a lot of attention during its release, with the game receiving a live-action TV show. However, for those who can speak Japanese, or those who are willing to follow along a script, I would highly recommend playing Devil Summoner.
Hey all, Nick here. Welcome back to another episode of It's Music here on MMTV. It's a beautiful day out, enjoying some time outside, some cornhole. Obviously, I'm a pro. I'm doing it for 18 years, but today we're here to talk about music as always. So, we're talking good bands. Let's talk good bands. I'm about to talk a good band. This band, okay, hear me out, called September, not the Earth, Wind & Fire song. Easy, as good as that is, and as much as I love it. I'm talking about this band, September. They make sick bossa nova meets funk meets R&B meets not English singing, and it's sick.
I'd say overall, the band is honestly quite killing. Normally, in these reviews, I kind of rate things, but honestly, I feel like rating a band is difficult because, music's already subjective. But then you take a whole band, it's like the entire discography. This is 7, or 2, or 3, or 8.5. You can't do that, so I'm not going to. This album right here, I love it. It's so amazing. If I could pronounce most of the names on it, I would give you specific tracks, but I'll put them here. I'll put them right here. You can look at them. You can look them up and listen to them. They're very good. I quite enjoy them. I'm a fan. I think you should do it as well.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I'm not going to rate this. I'm not going to rate the band as a whole, but this album's very good. This album's very good. The one I just talked about is very good. Look at them, listen to them. You don't have to, but you should, because they're very good. Especially if you enjoy, harmonically interesting piano and keyboard parts. It's got the whole shebang. It's very nice. Plus, sometimes it's cool listening to songs that you can't understand the lyrics to.
Opening night for the Addams Family play is just 11 days away. Tomorrow marks the start of Tech Week, and everyone is gearing up. You can see the performance Thursday, May 19th through Sunday, May 22nd. Thursday through Saturday, the play will be at 7:30 p.m., while Sunday will be at 6 p.m. And now over to Ray, who teaches us about a new plant each week. Then we head over to our Sports Weekly, where we give you all the latest updates in the sports world. First off, we have Brian sharing some soccer highlights from this week.
Hello, and welcome back to Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany. This week we're learning about Lawsonia intermis, or more commonly, the henna tree. Native to northern Africa, Asia, and Australia, you may know the henna as reddish-brown paste used for mehndi, an ancient art of using henna to draw on the skin. After letting it dry for a few hours, temporary markings will stay for 1 to 3 weeks. Henna can also be used as a natural hair dye, and until 1996, when the art became popularized in the US, that was its most popular use here. It's also been known to be used to dye horsehair and hooves as well as sheep wool. It's used for many things across many cultures, mostly by Muslim and Hindi cultures. It's thought that the darker the henna pigment is on a wedding couple's skin, the longer the love will last between them. And in Morocco, pregnant women will find a person skilled at henna to paint very specific markings on their ankle and belly to protect the mother and baby through childbirth. The plant itself is a shrub-like tree that grows between 6 and 25 feet tall. Here are some fun facts. The henna plant originally came from Egypt, and that is still the biggest henna supplier along with India, Morocco, and Sudan. Henna smells very strong, especially in powder form, of clay, dirt, and damp leaves, while the fresh plant is odorless, even when crushed between your fingers. The flowers of the henna plant appear white and pink, giving off a scent like jasmine, and the flower of the plant has been used as a perfume because of this for centuries, and is still used as such in some places in the Middle East. It can be used medicinally to stop bleeding. Its leaves can also be made into a poultice to treat burns and some kinds of eczema. The flowers that the henna plant produce have both sex organs, so they are able to perform self-pollination. Henna seeds are held in the plant's berries, with about 39 to 45 per berry. To make the paste, the plant is picked, dried, then ground and mixed up with lemon, water, and very potent tea. Henna was also used for cave art in the past. One of the oldest cave paintings made of henna, dating back to 400 BC, can be found in India. Ancient Egyptians used ointment made of henna to protect their skin from sun and prevent sunburns. It has also been found to be used in the warmest periods of the year due to the cooling effect that henna produces on the skin. That's all for now on our colorful friend. See you next time on Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany.
Circling back to the Addams Family play, the NHS students will be hosting a free performance for only senior citizens on Tuesday, May 17th at 6 p.m. In addition to experiencing the amazingly talented actors and actresses, there will also be refreshments to enjoy. To continue with our Sports Weekly, Wesley is next sharing a vast variety of information on his segment, National Sports News. Let's see what's going on. Right after, we continue with the basketball news recap with Caden. Take it away, guys.
Seniors, check out the MMRHS weekly newsletter. There is a senior letter form required for you to fill out prior to your final day of school, May 26th. In addition, if you are planning on inviting an individual from another school to prom, there's an additional prom form for them to fill out. And now, we head over to the Mias with their TV show review. And then we have Tessa following with a movie review.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Mia and Mia's TV review. Only one Mia will be reviewing Maniac. Today, Maniac is a 2018 psychological dark comedy thriller which follows Annie Landsberg and Owen Milgram, two strangers who connect during a very risky, psychologically intense 12-person mind-bending pharmaceutical trial that is run by a company called NPB. The company has Japanese backing and is originally overseen by two scientists, Dr. Robert Marimoto and Dr. Azumi Fujita. Later, Dr. James K. Mantley replaces Marimoto after he suffers a drug-related overdose. Emma Stone's character, Annie, is a woman with borderline personality disorder who dwells in her unhealthy relationships. After Annie's sister dies in a car accident, she blames herself and starts to overuse drugs. That's how she found the trial. Jonah Hill's character, Owen Milgram, is the son of a wealthy and powerful family. He potentially has schizophrenia. He has to make a decision whether or not he's going to testify as an alibi in his brother's court case. There are 3 pills in the trial. The A pill, which Annie is addicted to, recalls a patient's most painful memories. The B pill presents the patient with their blind spots and their defense mechanisms. And the C pill is about confrontation and finding a patient's greatest fears. During these trials, you're supposed to have your own individual experiences. However, something strange happens with Owen and Annie. During each trial, they somehow are connected, whether it's they're in each other's dreams or they make guest appearances. The doctors and scientists who run this program are worried and stumped. This only happened once before with a set of other volunteers. Unfortunately, they wound up comatose. In order to ensure that this doesn't happen, the scientists monitor Owen and Annie closely. You can watch the show on Netflix. It only has 1 season. Thank you for watching!
Friday, May 13th, there will be an Evening Under the Stars dance. It will be located in the school cafeteria, and tickets are available for purchase on GoFan. There will be pizza, ice cream, and beverages available to purchase. We hope to see you there. Is the world really flat, and were there ever Greek gods? I definitely don't think so. But that's what's so interesting about myths. Here is Gage on his segment, Mythbusters. Now, Alec takes the stand as he has put together a presentation on a recent book that he read.
Still in the hunt for a summer job? There will be a teen youth job fair at the end of this month. It will be located just over the New York border at the Roloff Jansen Community Center and will take place on Saturday, May 21st from noon to 2 p.m. Now up next we have Troy, who will be giving us some more cool facts about action figures. Then we have our weatherman, Luke, sharing the weekly weather forecast.
What's going on? My name is Luca Yancey and I'm here to bring you your weekly weather forecast. So today's weather is going to be very nice. There's going to be a high of 63 and a low of 39 later on in the night. It should be a beautiful day though. As we see here, it's going to be partly cloudy but mostly sunny. There's going to be a nice breeze out of the northeast blowing roughly around 12 miles an hour. Monday is also going to be very nice as well. As we can see, there's going to be a high of 67 degrees with little to no clouds. It really should be a super nice day outside, mostly sunny. And it's going to be a high of 67, but I mean, I'd expect it to jump into the low 70s as, like I said, there's going to be little to no clouds, so the sun's going to be out, and it's really just going to be, it should get up to the low 70s, but right now it says high of 67. As we get later on to the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday especially, and also Friday is when things really start to kick up into high gear. This week is the first week this quarter that we've seen 70-degree days, and Tuesday is going to start that out. And really, it should just be a super nice week as we see a lot of sun throughout the entire week up until Saturday, of course, but also the temperatures are just continuing to rise. Tuesday might be a little windy though, as we can see a top speed of around 15 miles an hour blowing out of the northeast. And Wednesday is also going to be one of the nicest days of the week, which with a high of 79. It'll probably be higher and jump up into the 80s, which would be our first 80-degree day this year, but not certain about that one quite yet, as there will be partly cloudy but mostly cloudy with a little bit of sun here and there, intervals of sunshine. Little to no wind though, as it should be a pretty still day. And then Thursday really is going to be the nicest day of this week. It's going to reach a high of 81, but I would expect that to go well up higher into the mid to high 80s, as we can expect little to no wind and really no clouds at all. It should be a really just nice hot day outside. It also is going to be super good because there really is no humidity yet. And I mean, this is really gonna be a changing point for a lot of like the grass and like the plants and also the bugs and a lot of fish too. Like the wildlife is gonna start to bloom, and this is really like springtime kicking into high gear as we get into summer. Friday is also going to be pretty nice, as we can see a high of 76 degrees. It is going to be partly cloudy though for most of the day, and those clouds are going to carry over onto Saturday, as Saturday should be a pretty cloudy day. It's going to rain Saturday afternoon, but Saturday morning and also midday Saturday should just be cloudy and like an overcast type day. But later on in the evening we will be expecting rain. There's about a 30% chance of rain right now, so that might not happen, but chances are it is going to rain. As we see on the radar, there is going to be a pretty big storm hitting us this next weekend. That's all for this week's weather forecast. This week's fun weather fact is that, well, actually, it's not too fun, it's pretty morbid, but the highest actual hailstorm ever recorded was back in 1986 in Bangladesh, and the hailstones themselves weighed up to about 1 kilogram, and 92 people died as, you know, there were baseballs falling out of the sky. But that's all for this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Luke. Now it is time for our weekly lunch menu. Monday we'll start off with an all-beef hot dog. Tuesday we'll then be serving fish sticks. Wednesday there will be no lunch due to the half day. Then, to finish off the week, we have Thursday's meatball grinder and then cheese pizza on Friday. To finish this off, we have a short skit that will be performed by none other than Hyatt.
With the supply for tiny porcelain babies going dangerously low, experts are saying there's a way to profit from this madness. And it's very simple.
I think there's a lot of value in tiny porcelain babies.
As a family whose profits came from totally legitimate resources, I can proudly say I invested in tiny porcelain babies.
This is my tiny porcelain baby collection. It's worth $500,000 because I invested early, and I'm very happy about my investments because now I can finally live out my lifelong dream of making it rain. I'm out of babies.
Well, I may not have the best history with investing. After all, I did invest a lot in golden rocks, and I do not think I got a very good return on my investment. I'm basically eating the golden rocks for breakfast at this point. But I think that tiny porcelain babies are a very good idea.
I love tiny porcelain babies because they're tiny porcelain babies. They're beautiful, they're adorable, they show how rich I am. You can never get another tiny porcelain baby, they say online, because I own a certificate. My baby owning certificate. It's beautiful, and you'll never have one. You never will. This will never be you.
So call the number on screen in order to order your first book on tiny porcelain babies, and we'll even throw in a tiny porcelain baby just for free, just for you. So get it to Tiny Porcelain Babies now. Please buy them. Call or click to get a quote today. Please? Please?
This is my tiny porcelain baby collection. This is worth $5,000 because I invested early. Woohoo!
Thanks, Hyatt, for rounding off tonight, and sadly, this brings us to the end of this week's edition. Thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, for your continued support. And don't forget, we'll be back next week, same time, same channel.
This has been your host, Samantha.
And Chris.
Signing off. Have a great evening, everyone.